Hello and a very warm welcome to our best of the 2017 TCR International Series season. Stefano Camini, the defending double champion, crowned with Target competition and Seat in 2015, then with Leopard and VW Golf in 2016. He's changed teams again for 2017, driving an Audi for the Comtoyu racing team. Craft Bamboo Racing, the defending teams champion, and we start at Rustavi International Motor Park in Georgia. Two 15-lap races. It's a 4.14 kilometer track here at Rustavi. And we go straight over to the grid, and it is the local driver, David Kajaya, who is in pole position here. As you can see, conditions not the best. Tassi is also on the front row of the grid. Camini on the third row of the grid behind Jean-Carl Vernet. 16 cars on the grid for the first meeting. There were logistical issues here, but already 6 different constructors here: Audi, VW, Honda, Seat, Alfa Romeo and Opel. It's the first international series to be raced here at Rustavi International Motor Park, 25 kilometers south of the capital Tbilisi. See the windscreen wipers working overtime here. Heavy rain and all the cars are on wet tyres. The number 16, the local man, David Kajaya, away really well. The pole sitter leading into turn 1 from Attila Tassi of Hungary and Ferenc Fizer of Hungary. Number 9 and the number 55. In these wet conditions, the drivers need to be very, very careful. You can see Kajaya with the clean track in front of him, no spray to deal with, already managing to get away. Camini down in 5th position there. Look at Gianni Morbidelli in 9th. Oh, already a little nudge there, and that involves Valente and Borkovic. I think that was for around about 10th or 11th position there on lap 1 of 15. So Kajaya still leading from Tassi and Fizer. Camini tucked in 5th position. Camini challenging, and Camini through for 4th place, overtaking Roberto Colciago. We pick it up as we enter lap number 9 now. Tassi running very wide. Really wide there, Tassi. And opening up a big gap there for Colciago to move through into 4th place. Tassi only 17 years old, Colciago a veteran. Still Kajaya and Fizer and Camini in 3rd. Jean-Carl Vernet is well back in 6th position at the moment, the Frenchman. As we are on the last lap, the first 5 cars coming home really close together. And Kajaya with his first TCR race victory, the first win for the Alfa Romeo Giulietta TCR, and a big win for the Georgian at his home track then. Camini had been involved in a collision with Vernet after the finish of race 1. Both drivers blamed each other. The Comtoyu racing team had to change the radiator on Camini's car there, and a vacant place on the grid, as we'll see here. Camini having to start from the pits, the double defending champion. The pole sitter, Giacomo Altoe of Italy. And he's first into turn 1, ahead of Pepe Oriola and Ugo Valente. They were pretty close together, and a half spin for Attila Tassi. There's a bit of a collision with Jean-Carl Vernet. These two, as we'll see throughout the year, Tassi and Vernet, would have some great battles all the way through 2017. Oriola really putting the hammer down to try to take on Altoe. Altoe can feel the pressure coming from behind him. The 16-year-old Italian at the front of race 2 in Georgia. And Valente hoping that he can take advantage of Oriola and Altoe going for the race lead. Though Altoe driving with real maturity for one so young. Tashi, another youngster, and he's pulled alongside Valente now. The Hungarian, only 17 years old. Verne is right up there too, trying to get the inside line. Oh, and Oriola is through at last into the race lead. Valente trying to fly through as well for second. And a restart on lap 4. Tashi putting huge pressure on Altoe. See Camini running down in 12th place. Still at Oriola from Valente. Tashi on the pit lane straight, finally getting through for third, and John-Carl Verne trying to follow him through. Verne attacking Altoe, and behind them there's a battle between Borkovic and Morbidelli. James Nash is at the wheel of the third Seat, but we've got a really good battle for third as Altoe makes a mistake into the gravel. That allowing Verne through into 4th position as we take the checkered flag, and Oriola with the win. The 3rd time he's won a race at the TCR International Series season opener. Valente is 2nd, Tashi 3rd, ahead of Verne. But in the evening, the stewards would give a 30-second penalty to Valente as he passed Altoe on lap 1 when the safety car had been deployed. The Frenchman finally classed in 9th, giving 2nd to Tashi and a podium to Verne. Same penalty for Colchiago, yellow flag infringement. He was 12th. On to Bahrain. This is 2 weeks later, the 2nd round of the TCR International Series. 2 times 10 laps or 25-minute max races. And Colchiago with his first win of the year. The first for Mira Team and Honda. Ahead of Valente, Verne, Borkovic and Cortals. 5 different cars in the first 5 places here then. Honda, Seat, Volkswagen, Alfa and Opel. But disappointment for Tashi, only 12th. After overtaking on the line Mato Homula. No points, but Tashi there showing that he's a competitor right to the last, even when there are no points at stake. Well done to Colchiago. Race 4 of the season. Colchiago had moved into the championship lead, but Kajaya in trouble there, the Georgian, the first winner of the season, retiring from a 2nd race in a row due to engine problems. Verne with a really good meeting here in Bahrain, as Kajaya has to abandon. Consolation for the GE Force team from Borkovic, winning ahead of Nash in 2nd, Valente 3rd, and Verne in 4th position. This really wasn't Tashi's race, or round I should say. Tashi coming home in 8th position. And so we had a first win of the season for the Serbian Dusan Borkovic. 2nd of the year for the Georgian team. shaping up as big contenders. The Alfa Romeo Giulietta TCR. Average speed there just under 143 kilometers an hour. And in the overall rankings, Walkovic now second with 51 points, just a point ahead of Colciago, and the new overall leader is Jean-Carl Vernet. He's rewarded for his consistency. Straight to Belgium now, round 3 of the season, Spa-Francorchamps, this 7-kilometre track, 2 9-lap races. It's the first event of the European qualifiers, and the grid has swollen to some 24 cars. Some local drivers are here from TCR Benelux, like Ben Lessens and Guillaume Mondron. Tom Coronel is here, and a brand new driver who's up for the rest of the season now, the 2012 WTCC champion Rob Huff, partnering Jean-Carl Vernet at Leopard Racing. The 2 cars from the Belgian team, Come To You Racing, were on the front row, but Tashi with the best start from P6 on the grid, taking the lead at La Source. Mola hitting trouble there. He was trying to go outside Max Potti, but there was contact. Amola with a puncture into the pits, and he ends up in 24th. Comini attacking Tashi for the lead at Les Combes, and taking the lead, the Swiss, the reigning champion. Rob Huff let Vernet through, his teammate, for Vernet to pick up more points. There's Norbert Mischlitz in the mirror team box. Now Tashi and Le Sen. This for P2. Jean-Carl Vernet trying to get to the inside of Frederick Vervisch for P4. And Vernet making it stick. Huff a couple of places behind him, his teammate. And some contact there. Coronel down in 9th place. And a little collision. Pepe Oriola trying to go past Coronel, but it's Coronel managing to get the line and picking up a place. Stefano Comini, the victory, the number 1 for Audi RS3, their first win in the TCR International Series. Le Sen in second, Tashi third, and Vernet in 4th place in race 1 in Belgium. Now race 2 at Spa-Francorchamps, the reverse grid, giving pole to Maxime Potti ahead of Oriola, Mondron, Coronel, Tashi, Huff, Vernet and Le Sen. The winner of race 1, Stefano Comini, 10th on the grid. Oh, Coronel hitting Oriola straight off the start and collecting Potti as well. Oh, lots of drama. It's left Mondron in the lead ahead of Huff and Tashi. Had a little spin as well as Comini trying to charge through the field, overtaking Vervisch. That's for 6th place. Now Kajaya ducking to the inside and passing Vervisch for 7th. Huff and Le Sen now. This is for the race leader. Oh, contact. Le Sen going off, Huff keeping the lead, Le Sen dropping to 5th position. Vernet's moving through. Huff playing the team man, blocking Mondron. Opening up a hole for Jean-Carl Vernet to go through. On lap 9, Tashi running wide in Pouon, opening the door there for Kajaya and Nash. Tashi now down in 9th place. Brilliant strategy from the team, and Jean-Carl Vernet winning the 50th race in the history of the TCR International Series, ahead of Rob Huff and Stefano Comini. Celebrations for Vernay and Huff and the Leopard team. And that's what the championship looks like now, with Vernay extending his lead at the top. 25 points clear of Comini, 38 ahead of Tashi. Monza in Italy, round 4 of the season. 2 11-lap races. We've seen 6 different winners from 5 different constructors already. Opel, the only constructor not to have a race win so far. And they've got big hopes here at the so-called Cathedral of Speed in Monza. Slipstream will be crucial for the 19 entrants here. Fred Vervish on pole, ahead of the Miras Honda, Colciago and Tashi. Championship leader Vernay 7th on the grid, but Tashi with the best start. And a few people skipping the corner there. Jean-Carl Vernay with the best start. Altoe into the gravel trap. We saw contact on the first chicane, and there was Oriola, Omola, Comini and Altoe involved. Altoe ending up having to retire as we move on to lap 3. And Jaap van Lagen with a one-shot in the VW Leopard, replacing Huff here. And there was contact with Nash. Great fights involving Morbidelli, Borkovic, Omola and Comini. All about the slipstreaming here through the chicane. Borkovic driving into the side of Morbidelli. Comini managing to pick up a couple of positions up to P9. Colciago still leading. Tashi, his teammate, in second. But the young Hungarian made a little mistake there. Oriola overtaking him for second. Vernay is 4th. Vijaya retiring in the pits again. More bad luck. Tashi back into second, overtaking Oriola at Roggia. But it's Roberto Colciago coming home for the victory ahead of his teammate Tashi, and then Oriola and Vernay. Comini well down the field here. So Colciago, the first driver to pick up a second win in 2017. Satisfaction too for the Mirror team, taking the lead in the team championship. Race 2, and it's Valente on pole, ahead of his teammate Nash, and then Comini and Vernay. Well, Nash making a better start and straight into the front. Comini in P2. Oh, and there's a contact there. Big contact. That's Vernay and Valente. Kajaya putting Tashi into a spin, all happening. And while that was going on, Comini into the race lead ahead of Nash. All going off. That was Valente going wide after contact. Vervish and Colciago battling for 6th, both driving off the track. Some nerves back in the pits. Colciago passing Oriola for 4th. Vervish would do the same on the next lap. Working here on the Valente car, but it's all in vain. Colciago eventually manages to get past Vernay, and the Frenchman also slipstreamed by Vervish, falling to 4th. Colciago then overtook Nash for 2nd, and door to door with Comini, passing Comini on the outside at the first chicane. But under braking at La Roggia, Colciago giving the lead back to Comini. Colciago really trying through Parabolica, but Camini keeping his line and keeping the lead to take the checkered flag. A second victory of the year for the double champion. Colciago second, and Vervish, Nash, Verne, Omelet, Jaya, Oriola and Tashi, all of them within 4 seconds. A win. Colciago closing the gap on Verne to 16 points, but it's the consistent Frenchman still in the championship lead. Camini has taken third off Tashi, but the next event of the season would change everything, and it's in Austria, the Salzburg Ring, 4.241 kilometre long track, 2 15-lap races. It's a fast track, but it's hard on the tyres. 21 entrants. Daniel Lloyd, the Briton, replacing Hugo Valente, who's announced his retirement from the sport. There was a massive crash in free practice for Tashi, who rolled and destroyed the car. The Hungarian still able to race, though, with a brand new Honda that had been driven from Italy overnight. Starting last on the grid, though. On pole, Omelet ahead of Borkovic, Oriola and Thomas Jaeger on road 2. Borkovic with a great start, leading from Omelet. Pepe Oriola third, ahead of the Lukoil Craft Bamboo teammate of his, James Nash. Lap 3. And, some movement now. Camini overtaking Jaeger for 5th. And his charge wouldn't end there. Camini would go on to overtake Nash and Oriola. But there's Rob Huff's car in the gravel on turn 9. A lot of damage. Huff does manage to get out okay, and it's good to see that he's all right. Definitely caused some worries. There's Andriana Borkovic, the wife of the leader. And she knew that her man would be under pressure from Omelet as soon as the race restarted. Now, lap 14. This race now 17 laps, a couple of laps added to the race distance. Borkovic keeping the lead ahead of Omelet, but a fight for third between Camini and Jaeger, who had just overtaken Oriola. And that's Verne in the gravel. Oh, turn 9 as well. That's pretty well where Rob Huff had his misadventure. And the same thing has happened more or less to his teammate, the Leopard Racing Volkswagen Golf of John Cole Verne. The safety car needing to be deployed while Verne's car's recovered. Only 2 laps left, and that meant a red flag and a second win of the year for Borkovic ahead of Omelet and Camini in third. Camini had a puncture under the last safety car, but decided to stay on the track, hoping for a red flag, and his gamble paid off, meaning joy for Andriana Borkovic and the G-Force team.
Wonderful to see somebody as enthusiastic as 25 years ago.
This is my life and my love for work in Formula One.
Race 10 of the TCR International Series season on Motorsport TV. Colciago on pole, ahead of Morbidelli. We're in Austria at the Salzburg Ring. On row 2 of the grid, Camini and Nash. Third row for Jaeger and Tashi, and then Oriola and Vervish. Huff with his arm in a sling there after 2 big crashes in race one. Neither of the Leopard Racing cars, neither Huff nor Jean-Carl Vernet, able to start race two. Colciago in the number 5 and making a really good start from pole position. We can see Nash already alongside Morbidelli going into turn 1. Morbidelli would manage to hold on to second. We're getting the right line. West Coast Racing Volkswagen. Tashi made a really good start. Jaeger cutting across the tyre barrier and losing positions. Tashi into third. Camini fifth, ahead of Oriola. Lap 2, and Tashi attacking Morbidelli and taking second place on turn 9. Morbidelli now under pressure from Camini. The Swiss attempting to overtake the Italian. Camini wanting to move up, but Morbidelli, first of all, managing to get a spot back on Tashi. That's reclaiming second position. Can't get through at the moment. It's Morbidelli, Tashi battle still going, and this time Tashi did get through for second. Camini in the slipstream of Morbidelli. He wants third and a potential podium finish. Wheel to wheel, door to door, but Morbidelli holds position. Meanwhile, Colciago with a clear track and under no pressure, easing away at the front. This is all playing into his hands. The three-way battle for second place. The gap already 2.5 seconds between Colciago and Tashi. Comini in the slipstream. So the car jumping a touch there through the corner. Battle this is, but the positions unchanging at the moment. Oriola and Nash watching on behind Camini. Ovish is being challenged by Kajaya, trying to attack for 7th place. At the back of the screen we can see this battle. Camini has got in front of Morbidelli now. Morbidelli now being chased by Oriola, who fancies this. Oriola looking for 4th place. And Oriola claiming 4th place. On lap 6 there was contact. Lloyd and Homola was in the fight for 10th place. Oh, and it's Borkovic, the race 1 winner in the gravel at turn 10. He was running way down the field. Meanwhile, the fight for second still goes on. Tashi, Camini, Oriola, Morbidelli. Borkovic out here. For Bamboo Racing. Oriola closing in on Camini in the fight for third. The Spaniard Oriola needing to score big points here this weekend in order to keep his title hopes alive, especially with Vernet out of race 1 and not taking part in race 2. Oh, Oriola off the track at turn 9. That's been treacherous throughout this event. And it's a second did not finish of 2017 for Oriola. checkered flag, Colciago, the third win of the year. Tashi making it a 1-2 for the Mira Racing team. Camini repeating his third place finish from race 1. Great celebrations in the Mira Racing team for Norbert Mischlitz. They almost lost everything with Tashi's crash in free practice, but luck smiling on them at last, and a 1-2 result in race 2. Great result for the team, and also in terms of the Drivers' Championship, no points scored by Verne, and that has really opened up the championship. Comini, the reigning champion, the new leader, but only 3 points ahead of Colciago. Verne in third place, 15 points ahead of Tashi, and that's all really promising ahead of going to Tashi's home country, Hungary. So the Hungaroring, 1 week later, 2 14-lap races, 26 cars on the grid, the largest entry of the season, including Norbert Mischlitz making his driving debut in the series, combining his drive with his role as the boss of the Mira Racing team. Norby's main objective, to help his protege, Attila Tashi, to move up in the standings, and the strategy would work perfectly. Mischlitz taking pole ahead of Verne, Tashi, Oriola and Colciago. 3 Mira cars in the top 5 on the grid. Well, Tashi it was who made the great start. Up from third and leading from Mischlitz, who's doing his bit to block out Jean-Carl Verne. Verne being attacked by Roberto Colciago. So the Mira team with excellent strategy here. They are Hungaroring experts. They know this track like the back of their hand. Totally in control. It's really hard to overtake on this circuit, apart from perhaps at turn 1. And it means that despite some big fights in the peloton, things hardly change from the first to the last lap. Tashi leading all race long, taking it from Mischlitz and Verne, and the young Hungarian driver only celebrated his 18th birthday on the Wednesday before this race. A checker flag and his first win in the TCR International Series. A great result for Mira Racing in front of the team's home fans. Mischlitz had fulfilled his contract, done exactly what he said he would do, helping Tashi by holding off Verne, and this round at the Hungaroring was far from over as things got tactical in the TCR International Series. Race 12 of the season, race 2 at the Hungaroring. Jens Leno Müller of Denmark on pole and making a fine start. Giacomo Altoe second. Tashi flying through a stunning start. He began in 9th place on the grid, but already up into what, second, third position? Second into turn 1. Bit of contact. Oh, loads of contact. Daniel Lloyd, one of the cars involved. Gianni Morbidelli as well. Oh, we'll need the safety car here. So Moller leading from Altoe, Tashi and Colciago. Then a bit of a gap. Back to Oriola in 5th. Paulsen in 6th. Mischlitz in 7th. Mischlitz overtaking Paulsen for 6th. Tashi now chasing Muller. A couple of laps over it after overtaking Altoe for 2nd. And Mischlitz is just there to block Verne. That's his one aim now, as Tashi gets into the race lead. So just a few laps to go, and Tashi leading, looking for his win double to score more big points against the likes of Giancarlo Verne and Stefano Comini and Colciago in the standings. Toe going wide. Fight with Oriola. Colciago in the number 5, watching on, waiting for his moment to pounce. Tashi away and clear, but it's now Oriola who is attacking Muller. This is for second place. And Oriola attacking and taking second. Hasn't got long though if he wants to try to cash Tashi. And Tashi taking his second race win of the day, with Oriola second and Muller third. Then Altoe, Colciago, Michelitz, Verne and Poulsen. Great results on home soil for the Mirror team and Attila Tashi. Norbert Michelitz's strategy working perfectly. Mirror moving clear in the team classification. They're now 79 points clear of Bamboo. And in terms of the Drivers' Championship, it's Tashi into the championship lead. 6 points ahead of his teammate Roberto Colciago and 13 ahead of Giancarlo Verne. So things really hotting up as we head to Germany and Oschersleben. Well, sadly for Tashi here, this round 3 weeks later will be the exact opposite of his Hungaroring winning campaign. A meeting seeing the renaissance of West Coast racing and Gianni Morbidelli on pole for race 1. Well, Tashi had contact with Verne, 2 cars spinning. Tashi was later disqualified, but the Frenchman Giancarlo Verne already taking his revenge on the track a few laps later. And the second race of the weekend wouldn't be any better for Tashi. He had to retire from race 14 due to mechanical issues. Verne fighting out for the race win with Morbidelli and Omola. And it was a fight that Gianni Morbidelli would eventually win, brilliantly overtaking Omola on one of the last turns. A perfect weekend for Morbidelli after winning race 1 ahead of Lloyd and Huff. A clean sweep for him, a win double, takes race 2 ahead of Omola and Verne. It had been a poor season for both Morbidelli and West Coast up until now, but their hard work paying off. These, though, would be the only wins of the year for them. But with Tashi's woes, the big winner from this German meeting was actually a certain Giancarlo Verne. No points scored for Tashi or Colciago in both races, so the Frenchman reclaiming the championship lead, a couple of points ahead of Tashi, 8 ahead of Colciago and 9 ahead of Comini. The top 4 separated by only 9 points, then a little gap to Oriola. But the worst news came from Colciago, who broke 3 ribs in a crash in race 2. Well, Colciago's injury would destroy his title hopes. The Mirror driver from Italy missing the next meeting in Thailand, which took place 2 months after his accident. The boss of the Mirror team, Norbert Michelitz, replacing him. The Hungarian team also reinforced by Giacomo Altoe for this meeting, the young Italian who'd competed for West Coast in the first 7 meetings of the year. All 24 cars entered, including 6 TCR Thailand competitors. And air temperature in the low 30, humidity of over 60%, but nothing can perturb Michelitz. Quickly taking the race lead in race 1 ahead of Borkovic, and the 2 main title contenders for the year now, Attila Tashi and Giancarlo Verne, and this would be one of their fiercest on-track battles of the entire season. We already saw that things were hotting up between them at the previous round with some contact. And let's keep a very close eye on Tashi and Verne. On the last lap, under braking, Verne trying to go through and hitting Tashi. A win for Michelitz ahead of Borkovic and Tashi, and then Vernet. Huff eased off to ensure he didn't overtake his teammate. Great win for Michelitz. First, third and sixth on the finish line, and in the team championship they're more than 100 points clear of Bamboo, and with only 5 races to go the team title is going to head for them. But as for the driver's title, it's more than uncertain. Michelitz want to help Tashi as much as possible in race 2. Well, there's Michelitz's engine with problems. White smoke from the Honda. Jean-Carl Vernet. He spent most of the race behind Michelitz in 6th. Tashi in 4th. The race led by Aurélien Panis. The white smoke reappearing on the last lap from Michelitz. Losing power. And, Vernet looking like he'll be able to get through into 5th perhaps with this white smoke. Yeah, right at the last, Vernet ahead of Michelitz. It's Aurélien Panis with his first TCR International Series race win. Altoe second, Camini third. Vernet was too far back to threaten Tashi. Mirror racing with 2 cars in the top 4. Michelitz with an electrical problem there. So Panis, a maiden win, only his 4th race in the series. Tashi and Vernet cancelling each other out in Thailand. Although Tashi into the championship lead, 2 points ahead of the Frenchman. With the absence of Colciago, Camini up to 3rd, 14 points down, and it's now a 3-way battle for the TCR International Series championship crown as we head towards China for round 9 of the season and 2 19-lap races on the Zhejiang circuit. And here we are in China after La Marseillaise for Aurélien Panis in Thailand. This is a brand new circuit, around 200 kilometers south of Shanghai, completed in 2016. It's really twisty for 2/3 of the lap, really fast on the final third. And it's well suited to Leopard Volkswagen, as shown by Huff and Vernet being on the front row. Roberto Colciago happily recovered from his injuries, and he's 6th, just ahead of his teammate, the number 9, Tashi. A wave of the green flag then from the marshal. Brand new Hyundai, driven by Gabriele Tarquini, the 2009 WTCC champion, but there's the number 4 smashing in there. It was Denis Dupont crashing into the pit wall. Poor start from Vernet, who was immediately overtaken by Oriola. Tashi went wide and he rejoined in 9th. This a really important race in terms of the entire driver battle. Oriola leading. Vernet didn't make a great start, but he's in 2nd now, and Gianni Morbidelli in 3rd. Tashi down the field. At the end of lap 1, Tashi only in 12th place. Oriola leading from Vernet and Morbidelli. Vervish in 4th. The pole sitter Huff in 5th ahead of Tarquini. This race far from over. Lots of overtaking. Huff fighting with Vervish for 4th, and look at Tarquini. Tarquini with a more powerful engine. Gabriele Tarquini, you get the impression he's almost like in another category. Tarquini passed Morbidelli for 3rd. A podium place in perspective. A look at the start again, and it was Alain Menu making contact with Aurélien Panis before hitting Dupont. Menu getting a drive-through penalty, causing that collision. Tarquini now into second ahead of Verne at exactly the same spot on the circuit where he overtook Morbidelli. It's Oriola the leader, but Tarquini threatening, and Verne third. Looks like no one can stop Gabriele Tarquini. Still quite a few laps to go. Tarquini looking to pass Oriola for the lead. Loves this spot on the circuit, and through he goes. There's the reaction from BRC. Now Verne wanting to nudge in front of Oriola for second. A little bit of contact. And he gets through. Forces his way through. So second for Verne. And look at Tashi still down in 11th. Morbidelli challenging Oriola. Rob Huff getting through too. Really going all wrong for Oriola. Morbidelli also up into 4th. Nash defending 9th from Panis in 10th. It's just not happening for Tashi. There we can see Attila Tashi in the 9, only 11th place. And he'd get 1 point for 11th because Gabriele Tarquini, the race leader, isn't scoring points in terms of the championship standings. So Hyundai is not eligible for points, and that would mean Jean-Carl Verne would take maximum points for finishing second. It would count as a race win. So the big winner of the race, despite Tarquini taking the checkered flag, is Jean-Carl Verne with the 25 points for victory. And he's now well clear of Tashi at the top, some 26 points, with Tashi only taking a single point. Great from Hyundai Motorsport though. And the BRC racing engineers and mechanics. The future is promising, even with a 54-year-old at the wheel. Car's debut in the hands of the WTCC world champion from 2009. Well, as for Verne, mathematically impossible to win the title in race 2 in China, but a good result would almost secure it, but that wouldn't be the case at all. Verne running wide at the exit of turn 13, destroying his hopes of good points. But fortunately for the Frenchman, Tashi, his major rival, would not do a lot better. Morbidelli managed to get past Tashi for 4th, Colciago getting attacked for 6th. Nash starting to pull away. Tarquini again. Expect him to pick up positions. Big lead for Nash. Vervish in second, Morbidelli third. Tashi has fallen to 9th place now. Passed by Huff and the 2 Hyundais. Huff charging into second. Vervish and Morbidelli, great battle, 3 cars abreast. Lots of contact. What a real race. Proper touring car racing. Overtaken by Morbidelli and Huff. Saw an Oriola battle there with Colciago. Tarquini getting through past Colciago. Well, Nash's tyres have started to go. He was well out in front. And, it's Huff now leading, Morbidelli in third, and Nash will just be trying to hang on as Rob Huff is going to take the win. his first victory in the TCR International Series this year. It's the second win for Leopard Racing Team, and Vernay has a 21-point advantage over Tashi. Tashi 9th in race 2, so a very satisfied Dutch team. Vernay 21 points over Tashi and could be crowned in race 1 of the Dubai Grand Finale. So off to the United Arab Emirates, to the Dubai Autodrome, and it's exactly what would happen. Perfect qualifying from Leopard Racing, placing their 2 cars on the front row. Gordon Shedden replacing Rob Huff on pole ahead of Jean-Carl Vernay. Tashi had engine sensor issues and qualified only 10th on the grid. No real hopes for Tashi, who needs to finish ahead of Vernay to keep his title chances alive for race 20. Vernay didn't make a great start though, overtaken by Oriola, who also overtakes Shedden on the run-in to turn 1, taking the lead. All the cars making it through safely, but Vernay in 3rd place. It's all about avoiding collisions for him, picking up this title, the 2017 TCR International Series title. The checkered flag, Oriola with his 2nd win of the year, Shedden 2nd, Vernay 3rd, and Vernay is the 2017 TCR International Series champion with 1 race still to go, and the team's championship, it's been confirmed, has been won by Mirror Racing. So congratulations to Vernay, while Tashi will still have to fight to secure the runners-up position. He needs to score a point in the last race to do it, and he did it. It was won by his main rival, Stefano Comini. Roberto Colciago scored 3 wins, but the Swiss double defending champion Comini ended up only a point behind Tashi. 3rd in 2016, Jean-Carl Vernay with his 2nd international title after the Indy Lights 2010, rewarded for his consistency. 13 top 5s, 1 win, 5 podiums. Tashi, the revelation, with 2 wins and 5 podiums. A new era is starting. The TCR International Series will be mixed for the next 2 years with the WTCC in a brand new World Touring Car Cup. See you for that.